Okay, so when I say the words artificial intelligence, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it a killer robot from the future? A super smart, all-knowing computer like HAL 9000? You know, for a lot of us, AI feels like this huge, complicated, maybe even kind of scary thing straight out of science fiction. But what if I told you it's actually something you use every single day, and you probably don't even notice? Let's peel back the curtain and separate the myth from the reality.
So on one side, you've got this epic, world-conquering AI that we see in the movies. And then on the other side, you've got the reality. This quiet, almost invisible intelligence that's just humming along inside your phone, your email, your favorite streaming app. I mean, they seem like they're from different planets, right? One is busy taking over the world, the other is just trying to figure out what movie you might want to watch next.
So which one is it? Which one is the real AI? The Hollywood villain or that boringly useful little helper? Well, the answer is kind of surprising because it's sort of both, and at the same time, it's neither. And to really get why, we first have to look at the AI that's already all around you.
All right, first up, let's talk about the AI that is literally hiding in plain sight. Seriously, you've probably used it a dozen times today and didn't give it a second thought.
And look, these aren't some far-off future ideas. This is your daily routine. Just think about your day so far. Did you check your email? Yep, an AI filtered out all the junk. Did you use a map to get somewhere? An AI predicted the traffic jams. Watched a show last night? An AI recommended it to you. Even your bank is using AI to flag weird purchases. And your phone uses it to group all the photos of your dog or your last vacation. It's just everywhere. In fact, I would bet money you have already used AI at least 5 times since you woke up this morning. See, this technology isn't some single giant brain in a lab somewhere. It's actually millions of tiny, invisible helpers just making modern life work.
Okay, but how do these things get so smart, right? How does Netflix just know you're going to love that new documentary? Well, it's not magic, and it's definitely not old-school computer programming. It's a process that looks a lot more like, well, practice. So here's the big difference. With traditional programming, a person, a human, has to write out explicit step-by-step rules for every single possible situation. If this happens, then do that. But with machine learning, which is the engine behind almost all modern AI, you don't give it rules. You just give it a ton of examples. Thousands, millions of them, and you let the machine figure out the patterns all by itself. Think about how you learned to ride a bike. Nobody handed you a physics textbook and told you to calculate the gyroscopic effect. No, you just got on, you tried, you probably fell, you adjusted, and you tried again, over and over. And eventually, through all that repetition, your brain just figured it out. That is exactly what machine learning is. It's learning by doing, not by reading an instruction manual.
And it all boils down to this really simple feedback loop. The AI sees a mountain of data, let's say 1 million pictures of cats. It starts to identify patterns, things like pointy ears and whiskers. Then it makes a prediction. Okay, I think this new picture is a cat. It gets feedback. Yep, you got it right. Or, nope, that's actually a squirrel. Then it adjusts its own internal logic and does it again, and again, and again. You multiply that process by 1 billion, and pretty soon you have an AI that's a world-class expert at spotting cats.
But, and this is a really, really huge but, that same AI that's a world champion cat spotter is completely, utterly useless at everything else. And this gets to the very heart of AI's biggest limitation today. These systems can be incredible specialists, but they are absolutely not geniuses. So to really get a handle on AI's limits, experts basically break it down into 3 levels. First, you've got what we have right now, narrow AI, or ANI. This stuff is a master of one specific task. Then you've got the big sci-fi dream, general AI, or AGI, which would have true human-level intelligence. And then, way out there, is the stuff of pure imagination, superintelligence, or ASI, an intellect so vast it would be to us what we are to an ant. Okay, so here's the big reveal. Of those 3 types, how many do you think we've actually built? How many exist in the real world? The answer is just 1. Yep. Every single AI system on this planet today, from the most advanced chatbot you can talk to, all the way down to the spam filter in your email, is narrow AI. They are hyper-specialized, they can be unbelievably good at their one job, but they have zero common sense, no actual consciousness, and absolutely no ability to take what they've learned and apply it to a new problem. The AI that can beat a chess grandmaster can't even tell you if it's raining outside. It just doesn't know anything else. And this narrowness, this specialization, it isn't just a technical limit. It creates some very, very human problems.
I mean, if we're letting these powerful but not actually smart tools make critical decisions about our lives, we have to stop and ask, what could possibly go wrong?
Remember that learning loop we talked about? The AI learns from the examples we give it. But what happens if those examples are biased? Let's say an AI is trained on a company's past hiring decisions, and that company mostly hired men. Well, the AI is going to learn that men are simply better candidates. It won't do this because it's evil. It'll just see a pattern in the data and replicate it. And this can lead to incredibly unfair, discriminatory outcomes in really important parts of our lives.
This is probably the most important thing to take away from all of this. AI isn't good or evil. It's a tool. It's a powerful, incredibly complex tool for sure, but it's a tool nonetheless. And just like a hammer, it can be used to build a beautiful house or to smash a window. It all comes down to the person wielding it. It magnifies our own intelligence, but it can just as easily magnify our own flaws and our own biases. So as we weave this technology deeper and deeper into the fabric of our society, we are left with a question that, frankly, has no easy answer. When a self-driving car crashes or a hiring AI discriminates against someone, who's responsible? The person who wrote the code? The company that deployed it? The person who used it? That's the conversation we all need to start having, because it's not going away. So what do you think?